Back for Blood, or as I like to call it, the latest Left 4 Dead game until Valve decides to make Left 4 Dead 3. And who knows if that's ever going to happen. But in the meantime, we got this. So, when I heard about this game, when it was coming out, I was intrigued and going, well, it's like Left 4 Dead, but it's not. And we'll see what goes. We'll see how it goes. So I got it and then started playing it. And I'll say this, at first they do something interesting with this game. And they have these things called like deck cards, where it's like you can have this perk, you can have this perk, and you can have this perk, but also there's these things called corruption cards that each time you play it's different, which I like. It keeps the replayability thing flowing, but there are some parts, I will say this, at the very beginning, it was hard. And I was playing on easy. So I was going like, okay, if you're going to, have people play your game and have it play on easy, make it easy, please. Don't make it like impossible. Like, there was a part where I had to defeat like these like two like kind of boss zombies, while a swarm of like flies and wasps kept like bringing the area you were supposed to be in like smaller and smaller, and it just became impossible to do it. And then if you die, then you would have to restart that entire act over, or at least that section that you're in. And that happened so many times that I was like, I can't. So it was like kind of made to be like purposely being played with multiple people. So I was kind of like I don't really care. And then when I did start playing it with other people, what ended up happening was we were trying to make private matches where it was just, it'll be just like me and one person, and we couldn't figure out how to create a private match. So we kept setting privacy to like it's closed or invite only or friends only or something like that. But every time when we play, it like random people would join in. And unfortunately, like 90% of the time, they would be players that knew the maps, that knew how to play. They played it multiple times, and they'd run through the whole map. And we would be playing it on our first go, and it's like, well, this is just not fun. So that took the fun away, and then eventually, time, a little bit of time went by, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to give this another shot, and end up playing it, and it was way easier. So it was like they fixed it. And we found out how to create private matches. Everything was fine. But the thing with the private matches is that you basically have to like look everywhere in order to find it. And how we found it, it was kind of in one of those spots where you're just like, oh, you're an idiot. But it was kind of like I wouldn't have noticed that. So it was very much hidden. At least to me. At least to me it was hidden. But so yeah, at first I didn't really care for the game, and then when I came back to it after like giving it some time, it got better. So but don't get me wrong, there were still parts where those stupid corruption cards would be like, oh, we're gonna throw like these amount of zombies in there, and it's like, you never can make it easy, can you? And I like how they give you that like challenge. And I do like how the replayability, it can stay on its toes, every time you play. Like, there were times when, like, I would play the first mission and then got, a horde maybe every 5 minutes, just for example. And then the next time I played that same level, I got like a horde every minute. So it definitely kept me on my toes. It's saying, like, yeah, don't slack. And just grab ammo and just run. Or face the horde and, run out of ammo and die. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. It gave you the tools. You had to be the talent. So, yeah. So, yeah, I did like the replayability. Some of the characters I really did like. Because sometimes they were just, like, saying random stuff every minute. And it reminded me of Left 4 Dead. And if you don't know, Left 4 Dead 2, it's one of my favorite games ever made. And I've like logged hundreds of hours into Left 4 Dead. So, like, I know where to go, I know what to do, I know the best weapons, I know, like, pretty much word for word of dialogue. And this one is trying to be like that, or at least similar to that, and I can definitely see it. And but I don't think they have the same like lightning in a bottle like Valve did. And it feels like they're trying to, like, make like a hardened copy, but then also trying to bring some nuances into it, which is great. But yeah, just sometimes the corruption cards would, most of the time it's just like, okay, it's just kind of like a little fork in the road, but we can easily get past that. But sometimes those corruption cards would be like going into an asteroid field where you're constantly, like, moving around, like, trying to maneuver around everything. And it's just like, this, I don't mind, like, one of these every act, but one of these every, like, minute, yeah, that's just frustrating. So, at first, I didn't really care for the game. But it did turn from a, like, it's a whatever game into, like, okay, you know what, this is a fun game. So, and like I said, this will tide you over until Valve just finally decides to make Left 4 Dead 3. Whenever that may be, they should just do it now because we waited so long for that. So, things got better. It was frustrating at first, then it got better. Maybe they'll do a second one. I think I read online saying that they either don't have plans yet or they're not going to, but it was still up in the air. So who knows if we're going to get another one. I played the main story and also the 2 expansions. And the, like, final bosses of those things was just like, yeah, no, I don't need this thing to exist. Like, ever. So, yeah, that wasn't fun at all. So, yeah, I think at first, it's me at first, it's kind of frustrating. But then after a while, it got better, and then it was like, all right, now, okay, it feels like a game. It's not like, because personally with me, I can't play, like, games that are meant to frustrate you. Like, I can't play Dark Souls, I can't play Bloodborne, can't play Elden Ring, I can't play I Am Bread, I can't play Surgeon Simulator, because those games look like they were meant to frustrate you. And I've seen people play, like, the Dark Souls, and I'm like, okay, the world building and the story is great, but I can't, 3 hits and you're dead. That's not fair. Like, I can't do that, and yeah, I don't mind a challenge, but if you're just going to throw that at me every minute, I can't play your game. Like, sorry. I'll watch someone else play it, but I will personally not play it because I will possibly throw the controller at the TV. So, Back for Blood was fun. So I give it a great. Like I said, was a little bit iffy in the beginning, but then over time it got better, and who knows? Maybe we'll get another one.